Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Dr. Herbert Harris, and this is Success Mentorship class number 333. And our topic for today is time, action, money. I'm going to generalize it even a little more, and let's call it time, action, results. Time, action, results. Before we get into our message, of course, we like to welcome all of our guests on Instagram. So thank you so much for coming. Uh, Once again, our teachings are based on our book, The 12 Universal Laws of Success, and on our experience and the shared experiences of those in the mastermind group. We thank each and every one of you for your presence and for your vibration, because without you, this could not be done. We invite you to visit our website, herbertharris.com, and look at some of the goodies available there. Also, if you need to talk about your success, talk about your growth, talk about the things you need to do, be, and have to help you get where you want to go, book a call and schedule a complimentary success consultation. So now, before we get into our message for today, and for our new guests, our format is this. We'll share our message, and then afterwards we have discussion and dialogue and insight that you give from the message you have received and from your wins and lessons and victories over the last period of time. So let us sit straight up in our seats for a moment, close our outer eyes, open our inner eyes, and take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. Take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. And in this space of peace and relaxation, we are at peace with ourselves. I am at peace with myself. Let us affirm that together. I am at peace with myself. Just let that sink in. Once more. I am at peace with myself. Take a deep breath and let it out slowly. And in this state of peace and relaxation, our minds are open, receptive, and ready to learn. Let us affirm together. My mind is open, receptive, and ready to learn. Let it sink in. Take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. And so it is. This topic is a very powerful topic: time, action, money. And I'm going to generalize it: time, action, results. There's a beautiful quote by Jim Rohn that I think really sums it up as to how important this message is to you and to each and every person who hears it. He said, time is more valuable than money. You can get more money, but you cannot get more time. Time is more valuable than money. You can get more money, but you cannot get more time. Interesting. So when we look at this thought today, we ask ourselves, well, why are we at this point with this lesson? We are now today is the 13th So we're on the second Saturday of the seventh month. And that simply means that 6 months and almost 2 weeks have gone by in this year, which means that we have, a little less than 6 months to do, be, and have the things we desire. So this says that the actions we take between now and the end of this year are critical. How we approach it, the results we get are critical. And so let us look at what can we do to get better results? What can we do to make the things happen that we want to happen for us this year? Well, there's some key points. Number one, time is God's gift to us. What we do with that time is our gift to God. And so we have the same number of hours in every day, the same number of minutes in every hour. But what we do with that time is what makes the difference. Muhammad Ali said it's not the number of moments in life, but it's the amount of life you put into each moment. It's not the moments in life, but it's the amount of life you put into each moment. And so what happens over these next 6 months is really determined by the actions we take, the choices we make. And it's all over time. The actions that we desire to accomplish over this next 6 months depends on our thoughts, our emotions, our relationships, and our actions. So let's put this all together. Everything we do is in the time context. If we look at life, a nice analogy is that we are a boat on the river of time. And the river of time is always flowing. The nature of a river, it is always flowing. It's just that it's always flowing one way into the sea of eternity. So time never repeats. It's always in a continuous flow. And so our journey through life is really like being a boat on the river of time. And that boat can go either where the river wants to take it or where the boat wants to go. And I think that is the difference between man and every other species on the planet. Every other species basically lives in harmony with the nature of its creation. And so it flows in with its instincts. So you don't have alligators, although alligators have been on this planet for millions of years, they don't build apartment houses. They don't create governments. When we look at mind, we are created in the nature and likeness of the all-powerful being that created the planet. And so we have these same creative powers in creating the life that we live. And this life is lived on the river of time. So if we're a boat on the river of time, how we handle that boat determines whether we go with the current, go with the flow, or go with our dreams, go with our objectives. So on the river of time, on our boat, we have 4 elements. They are, 1, the rudder. The rudder is your value system that teaches you who you are. You know, when you look at a person, you say, this is an honest, truthful person. So when you're dealing with that person, you know when they say something, you can take it to the bank. It's that idea of the things you will and will not do. You have the engine, and the engine is your level of desire that powers you when the river is going strong in a direction that you don't want to go. It's your engine that gives you the power to go against the current. You know, when everybody else, I love that thing, when all around us are losing their minds and blaming it on you, you know. When everybody around is negative, when people are failing, when there's a negative mindset, you don't have to be subject to that because you have a level of desire and a rudder, a sense of right and wrong that can guide you against those beliefs, against the river, the currents of time. You also have sales. And sales represent your attitude. You know, someone says that you 90% of what happens in life is really how you respond to stuff. And so your attitudes, if you can imagine that river, the same wind that may blow one boat over, you can adjust your sails a certain kind of way and it will propel you to your goals, to where you want to, whatever you want to be, do, or have. And then, of course, you have your crew. And these are the people you permit to come into your life, the people you permit to be a part of your journey. And so when we look at this context now, everything that we do is on this river of time. And so what must we do to make it work for us? Well, number one, we must have goals. We must have objectives. We must have things that we want to be, do, and have. If we have no goals, then we have basically become subject to that spiritual principle. It says, where there is no vision, the people perish. Where you have no goals, nothing you want to be, do, and have, then the river of time just carries you right along. I'm often concerned about young people when I say, well, what are you doing? I'm chilling. What do you want to be? I don't know. So people will be chilling, and yet the river takes them right on. They can even be spilling. Spilling is like spending dollar time on penny jobs. Man, it looks like you're doing something, but you're not. You're being swept along in the river of time. It's only when you take control of the time, take control of your actions, your thoughts, your emotions, your relationships, and make them work for you. So step number one, you must have goals. You must have a target. They must be written. The Habakkuk says, write the vision, make it plain upon tablets, that he may run that readeth it. That means you got to have a written goal to have a plan. So now that if you don't have any goals for this year, if you started out with no goals, it's never too late. So now you have a little under 6 months left. Buckle up. Look at where you are right now and draw a line in the sand and say, no more. I take control of my ship. I'm the captain of my ship and the master of my destiny. I'm going to make changes in my thinking, in my emotions, in my habits, in my relationships. And so once you've made that decision, then we call it step 3. Step 1 is that recognize that we're in the river of time. Step 2 is to have goals and a target. Step 3 is to really commit to excellence. I'm going to put it in more of a corporate phase. Many of us are students of the Great Discovery International course, or the Six Sigma training. And so when you put it into kind of a corporate context, you commit to maximum productivity. That simply means that whatever you do, you choose to do it with all your might. You live your life flat out. No excuses. No diversions. You focus on your goal with a single line, you get it done. When you commit to maximum productivity, there are 3 elements. First, you have to prioritize. You see, whatever you say is important to you becomes important to the universe. So you prioritize to energize. When you look at your goals, when you look at the things you want to be, do, and have, you have to say, this is more important than that. And you prioritize based on the results that you desire. 2, you must have a sense of urgency. You know, procrastination is the thief of dreams. Anything you want to be, do, and have, if you spend time getting ready to get ready to get ready, the river of time has moved you right along. So anytime you're not paddling, anytime your engine's not running, anytime your crew is not rowing in a particular direction, the river of time is taking you where it wants you to go. You see, when we were created on this by the Creator, We were created for a purpose, and that purpose is the journey on the river of life. And so if we don't live our purpose, if we waste that journey and just let the river take us, then we have chosen to go against the reason for our creation. So prioritize, act with urgency, and then to realize that everything has a block, to look at time blocks. And the power of a time block is that, our minds are very linear. We think of one thing at a time. And so when you have a time block, you focus on one particular task. Many of us are multitaskers. Most of us have some kind of job, some kind of profession. We have some type of business we're trying to do. We belong to communities. We have activities. We're doing lots of things. It's very easy to get lost in the sauce. But when you look at time blocks, you block out the time. This is my time to study. This is my time for exercise. This is my time for prayer. This is my time for writing. When Herman was writing his book, I told him, you need to set aside the time. You may not control the creativity, but you do control the time available to let creativity flow into you. And so if you commit to sit there and do the work, then the results will come to you. Now, it doesn't happen overnight. You may have to sit there a week, 2 weeks before inspiration comes. But if you don't sit there, it will not come. And so these are the time blocks. So this idea of utilizing time in the most efficient way is really about operating in a highly productive manner, prioritizing your actions, operating for the sense of urgency, and breaking it into time blocks. Number 4, commit to maximum efficiency. See, now this, folks, is where the rubber hits the road. Maximum efficiency is really how you operate. It's the power of focus applied over time in the most efficient way. So when we talk about maximum efficiency, we're saying to focus on a single task. And when we focus on that single task, we focus on it with a sense of priority. Now, this is what I mean. We talked about time, action, money. In sales, there's a concept of what we call IPAs, income producing activities. And so if you're in sales, any type of marketing program, if you do not do the income producing activities, you will not have any income. And even if you get income, there are people who win the lottery and still don't have that sense, that consciousness developed by focusing on income producing activities. That income can slide away. Many lottery winners end up broke. And so this thought of income producing activities, let's make it more general. We must live our life based on results producing activities. This is a powerful piece, folks. Results producing activities. So in business, income producing activities says whatever the things are that make money, then these are the things you focus on. So if you're in a marketing program, you focus on making the calls. You focus on prospecting to have somebody to call. You focus on follow-up to somebody you've already talked to. You focus on sharing a presentation of whatever the business you're doing. You focus on following up to get people feedback. You focus on answering the questions and getting a decision. That's the income producing activity. When you can do that efficiently and effectively, you get results. So let's look at it on a grander scale. Results producing activities. A lady was a teacher, and the shortage of teachers is so profound now that they'll let you teach even though you don't have a teaching license, but they give you a certain amount of time to get qualified to get your license. And every time they had the test to get the license, she kept putting it off and putting it off. And then finally, when it got down to the end, so that was the results that she wanted. The results that she wanted to have was to have the teaching license so she continued making the money she was making. So that's why I said results, activities, income producing activities, results producing activities. So in your life, what are some of the things that you want to do, the goals that you have? Maybe it's to get a degree. Maybe it's to go back to school. Maybe it's to get a new relationship. That whatever those results are, your activities now must be designed to execute a plan to get those results in the most efficient manner. So step 5, how does this happen? We have to develop daily rituals. My coach, Dave Smile, was sharing with us the other day his daily ritual. You notice every company has a mission statement. People read the mission statement over. Even when you go to church, you have the missal, the statement of faith. You see, when we put the laws of success to work for us, they enhance our powers. So to have a daily ritual now that you execute in a daily fashion, not just for the end of this year, for the next 6 months, but for a lifetime. Because it's the daily ritual now that will put you in a vibration, a harmonic vibration, where the energy that you create is powerful enough to attract into your space that which you're seeking. When you go to the gym, Kenya Crooks is on Instagram, one of my favorite personal coaches. And you don't jump in there the first day in the gym and do 50 push-ups. You work your way up to it by daily expanding. Do 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. The results come about by the daily rituals that we have in our lives. So let's break down a daily ritual that can help you. Step 1, you must have a written mission statement, a written goal statement of what you want your life to be, how you want your life to look. If you don't have a vision of exactly the way you want your life to look, the river of time will take care of it for you. And so when we put the spiritual laws, write the vision, make it plain, where there's no vision, the people perish, then this says this, write a vision statement of yourself, for yourself. What are the things you want to be, do, and have? Is it money, education, relationship, whatever it is? Excuse me. To write it down in great detail and to recite it every day. So, step 1 on that daily ritual is to develop your mission statement, your goal statement, your let's call it your character statement. I am truthful. I am healthful. Your health statement. The river of time will take care of you on a health basis too. Whatever you put in your body will come out. And so develop that written statement for yourself. 2, at the end of each day, read that written statement and then evaluate your progress for that day. In other words, look at where you are. The success GPS requires a location and a destination. So read your statement and evaluate where you are that day. What did you accomplish that day? What was left undone? What are the key high priority items did you get done? What income producing activities did you perform? What results producing activities did you perform? As you do that evaluation, now update your list of things to do tomorrow. You see, you always start where you are. When you update your list of things to do tomorrow, not just list them, but schedule them. Once again, everything is in a time context. And so the more efficiently you can lay them out, write them down, and schedule when they must be done, that now lays out your daily plan for the next day. And then you want to put your spiritual powers to work. Once you've written that out, laid that day out, and schedule it out, just for a moment, it says, be still and know. Be still and know that it will be done. Visualize the results that you want tonight. Visualize them tonight of the way you want your life to look tomorrow night. So that when you repeat this process tomorrow, it's all in order. See it done, and then go to bed with your subconscious mind working to make that day happen exactly the way you want it to be. When you get up in the morning, read your goal statement again. Feel it again. And then get busy. Executing your daily plan. Step by step, focusing on income-producing activities so that you don't spend dollar time on penny jobs. Focusing on results-producing activities so that you don't confuse activity with results. As you execute your plan, use the power of priority, urgency, and then blocking that time out to get it done. So the essence today, to summarize, is this. Over these next 6 months, over the next year, over the next lifetime, you have a great gift from God. That is time. As Jim Rohn said, time is more valuable than money. You can get more time, but you can't. You can get more money, but you cannot get more time. And so when you operate from a sense of urgency, you're actually honoring the Creator for having given you life. So let's just recap. We all live in a context of time. Everything we do is in the context of time. If we do nothing, the river of time takes it where we want it to be, where it wants us to be. If we live effectively, we create the direction of our boat across the river of time to our destination, to our goals. We must have goals. We must have desired outcomes. We must have a target that we can focus on. Without that, the river will take control. We must commit to maximum productivity, operating from a sense of priority. What you prioritize, you energize. Operating from a sense of urgency, to always do it now. Operating from a sense of time blocks, that you can do certain activities and complete them and then move on to the next one. Commit to maximum efficiency, where you use the power of focus now. You know, wherever focus goes, power flows. And it's through the power of focus that we can access some of the most profound power in the universe to manifest our life exactly the way we want it to go. Use the power of focus to minimize distractions, to keep you on track. And then develop that daily ritual of operation that you follow. If you can do it for 21 days, it's there for life. When you can live your life in accordance with a daily ritual, you will achieve things that you never dreamed you could before. That daily ritual, read and recite. First, write your goal statement. Write your personal mission. Write your health statement. Write these statements of who you are and what you're about. Draw the picture of yourself. It's almost like a, what do you call it, a treasure map, a goal map. Write it. Read it the night before you do your final review. Evaluate and monitor your progress during the day. Update your list of things to do and schedule the activities for the next day. Now that's the power. Schedule your activities for the next day so now you're in control. You have plotted your journey across the river of time. and then put the power of vision, see it done. Let your subconscious mind be working on it overnight, and then rest well, knowing that it will be done. In the morning, read and recite it again, and then execute your daily plan. Whenever you become confused or not sure about what to do in the day, ask yourself, what is the best use of my time right now? When I consider my goals, my vision, and my purpose, and when I consider the priorities of my life. If it's income producing activities, do them. Results producing activities, do them. When you use priority, urgency, and time blocks, you have the power to direct the boat that is your life across the river of time so that you can be what you want to be, do what you want to do, and have anything you desire. Always knowing that the best is yet to come. And so it is. Let's just take a deep breath for a moment. Let it out slowly. Thank you so much for being with us today on Instagram and our Zoom, and on Facebook and on the other media that will share this video. Be sure to visit our website, herbertharris.com. Look at some of the goodies there, the Success Toolbox, the 12 Universal Laws of Success, our book, and schedule a success consultation, complimentary with me. Talk directly with me and see if I can help you follow your dreams and fly to the sun. And so it is.